All right. I think it's working. Hey, welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing over there?
Good
How are you
question.
doing?
Let me think. So, okay, I'm wearing this mask because I'm pretending to be tech man, but let's take it.
We love
So
that.
I'm mostly at home. I mean, because the work is keeping on the vines. Okay, we are doing the work, but separately. People is working in one vineyard and then the other on the other. And in the warehouse, we have just two persons. That is mother and son. And I'm mainly at home now because I have two kids, 1 year and 3 years old, and the schools are closed.
Yeah.
So I'm with them. So in a way, it's a good thing because I'm spending a lot more time with my kids than usually.
Yes. That is a positive side of being quarantined at home. Yes. But
Exactly.
it's probably still a little bit more liberating to have nature and have vineyards there, so you can at least go out, right? Um,
In fact, I'm living 30 kilometers far from the vineyards in an apartment. so
Not fun.
so for me, it would be really much better if I could go work on the vineyards now. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Yes, yeah. This we're living in a very difficult times, and we are trying to find ways to make the most out of this. So I'm thank you for agreeing to this video. The reason why I wanted to do that is because we are so limited in the ways of how we can bring these wines to our customers, so to the people that enjoy drinking this kind of wines, because all the restaurants are closed, stores are closed, and they're also only allowing to do like a curbside pickup, and some of the stores are doing the delivery. So we were thinking, okay, how can we still bring the wine to the people? And I thought it would be the best way to do it is do record a video and taste wines direct simultaneously with you. And these wines will be actually in the package that people will receive. So we are preparing like a sampler cases. Actually, in this case, we're gonna have these two wines. This is currently not here, so we're waiting for this wine to arrive. So, yes,
Okay.
so that's really exciting. But before we dive into wines, which I already pour myself a glass.
I will do the same. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if you can just tell us a little bit more about your winery, about your region, just to familiarize our viewers a little bit more about what you do, what you grow, what you make. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. That's good. I like to speak about that. So it's a family-owned business, and we don't know which was the first person in our family who actually started to work with wine. Okay, we are in Portugal. And between Lisbon and Porto. If you do the road between Porto and Lisbon, you pass through Bairrada, or if you go by train, passes all the main streets in Portugal that connect by Porto and Lisbon, pass there. So it's in a way, it's a very rural place, but we are really in the middle of, we have a very good connection. So we actually live very close to our vineyards, and we pass there a lot of time. So then my father started to work with wine. Actually, this is making the 4th year doing wine, my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined him back in 2015 to work with him. He have done the big step on quality for our region, and he was the first person in our region who really believed on the grapes that we had in place. So we started a lot to promote Vaga. He was a pioneer, going everywhere outside Portugal to promote and say, no, Vaga, it can have the same quality as the best wines in the world, etc. So you have done a very big job on that. Then when I started to work with him in 2015, right in the first harvest, I decided that I would like to do something also. So I decided that I would harvest a vineyard that was abandoned.
Uh-huh. It was abandoned.
Yeah, and so I was there with my husband and 2 workers on a Saturday to pick the grapes. And we have done the first wine back then at that time. So then passed some time. I had 2 children after that.
Big life changes.
So and then between the 2 girls, I had the first in 16 and the second in 18. In the middle, it was born the project, the Duckman project. So it is João Pato is okay. My name is also João Pato. I'm Maria João Pato.
Uh-huh.
My grandfather was João Pato, and my nephew is João Pato. So in a way, this means that this is what my grandmother brought to me and what I will bring to my nephew. It means a little bit this. And then because, of course, I don't know that if you know that Pato means duck.
Yes, yes. We
Okay,
know this by now, and we loved your little logos here. They're very cute, very popular. Yes.
so I've decided that I would like to have no, I mean the first name for this project was Wild Duck.
Uh-huh.
But when I tried to register that, it was not possible. So I decided to. So I started to ask to everyone that was helping me on that. Oh, which name? And so it happens Duckman. So then it makes a lot of sense because we are Duckman. And then we started to build the person, the Duckman person.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the mask that we have done exist, that is on the label.
Big
It
one.
really
Yeah.
exists. You can put that, wear it.
This one.
I
Right?
used to, yes.
Yeah.
So I used to say that you can just wear the mask if you if you behave in accordance with your thoughts. That is not easy, but is I mean the mission of people. I mean, and so that mask was made by a local artist. Those labels are made. The logos, these other labels, they were made also by the same artist that lives in Bairrada. And then yeah, we have started to do this person. I would like to show you this wine that is okay. This is a wine that we just sent yesterday
to
US.
Yes.
I don't know if it's possible.
I see. Yeah, photo is fantastic. Wow. Is that your grandmother?
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is my grandmother. That was the wife of João Pato.
I see. I see. And what is her name? Is she also Maria?
She's Maria Teresa.
Ah, Maria Teresa.
So she's and this is their home. This is their bathroom.
Really?
Really?
that is fantastic art. I really enjoy this label.
And then it was produced also from the same artist that have made all the other things. And this is the other.
Oh wow, that is very luxurious.
This is their bed. There is here a picture of my grandfather, very small, and the picture of their wedding.
That is really unique, very creative, and that is also done by the same artist.
Oh, everything made from the same artist. That's
really cool. And what are these two wines that you just showed to us? What are they? Are they sparkling wines?
No, this is a white wine. Made from 4 different white grapes from Bairrada. Maria Gomes, Bical, Cercial, and one that is very important for us, that is Cercialinho, that it's just produced by us. It was brought to Bairrada in 1960 to acidify the sparklings. I forgot to mention that the main characteristics of Bairrada. I told the location between Porto and Lisbon, and then we are 20 kilometers far from the ocean. Very low altitude. We are 100 meters from the ocean, and we are before the mountains. So we have a really huge Atlantic influence. Our freshness, it's all brought from the Atlantic Ocean. That is very, 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 very cold here. Very cold.
Really? Okay. Very unique microclimate.
Yeah. So and then we have the two soils. We have is chalky clay with Jurassic fossils, the ammonite fossils, and then in the other part we have sandy soil, sand.
And if we go back to the climate, because it's so unique, what kind of climate do you have there? Is it like maritime climate, or how do you call that climate?
It's mainly influenced by the Atlantic Ocean, yes, because I mean the temperature in the summer when the grapes are getting the maturation, they are the temperature is between the temperature of the ocean, until I never know the amount in Fahrenheit. It's around 30 degrees.
Around Celsius, right?
Yes, 30,
Yeah.
34 maximum.
That's in 90s. In 90s, around 90s Fahrenheit. I'm also not. I'm from Slovenia originally, so I also still think in Celsius. So, but yeah, it's
Okay.
around 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
And during the nights, it's around 16.
Oh wow, that's a big drop. So 16
Yes.
means that it's down in 50s. Yes, something like that.
So this temperature amplitude in many mornings during maturation, there is a lot of fog, creates a lot of fog because of the difference of temperature.
Okay. Yes. So how does this fog influence the grape growing?
The what? The fog?
Fog. Yeah, fog. What kind of influence it has?
So we have in one way the fog. It's not. It's the in a way it's good. In another way, it's not so good.
Okay.
Because in a way it doesn't allow the temperature goes to have a high temperature during a less period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And in another way, it's a little bit difficult for fungus creation.
I see. Yeah. So it's
That's,
challenging the other way. Yeah.
yes.
But as far as I know, so Bairrada, it's really known worldwide for production of sparkling wine, right? For
Yeah.
espumante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you. So in back in 1890, same time approximately that the phylloxera arrived to Bairrada. To France, it was earlier. It was the first year that it was made sparkling in Bairrada, and it was just after the creation of the viticulture school in Anadia, that is the main city there, that was created to help the producers to do good products technically, to teach them technically.
Okay.
And it was brought at that time. And why? So we think that it's because of this very nice natural acidity that we can have because of this Atlantic influence.
Yeah, that and the soil, right?
That and the soil, yes, because we have chalky clay, the same as champagne. That is also very good. Yeah, there is another fact that is important, because in my father, taking into account that we were able to do sparkling and red wine. So back in 95, no, 95, no, 2000, back in 2000, my father started to do 2 harvests.
2 harvests. How does that look like?
Okay, back in 95, he started to do the green harvest to the floor. 5 years after, he started to go to the vineyards, take out 30% of the production, 50, and to do the sparkling, and leave the rest of the grapes to do the red wine.
I see.
We are keeping doing that. It's how we do the things still now. Now we also do in some wines we take out 70% for sparkling.
Yes.
And just leave 30% for the red. Or that improves also, it allows us to improve a lot the quality of the grapes that remain in the vineyards. It's also important because one of the worst problems in Bairrada, it's the rain during September, October. We need to keep the Bairrada grapes in the vineyards until mid of September and almost end of September.
Okay.
And if it rains and you have all the production there, it's much harder than if you just have like 3 grapes per vine, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So when is the first harvest happens? The first one for the sparkling wine?
Of course, depends of the vintage, but it can happen in middle of August.
Yeah, probably now with climate change, it's moving earlier and earlier, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because this year we are at least 1 month ahead now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's big. Yeah. What about, before we dive into the wine, tell me one more thing, just a little bit about the farming. What kind of farming are you implementing in your vineyards? It's all organic, or what do you do? What is your philosophy behind that?
Okay, so when I started with my father, we were doing sustainable farming. And more and more I'm pushing them to do even more sustainable.
Yeah.
So also with the creation of this project, it really affected also my father had the people that work with us. It was in that way, it was also really nice. And of course, the reason why I first did this wine,
Yeah.
it was because it was the first vineyard farmed organic. So this was a part of the wine that was going to a blend that my father was doing for a long time. But this vineyard was farmed organic, so I said, no, let's keep that wine and see. Then when I've released the brand, so it was one of the main wines because of that. And now we are going really doing a lot more things. We are doing some let's say biodynamic practices. We do, for example, we have done this year we have planted in the middle of the vines.
Yeah. So
to feed the plants, and then we have just incorporated into the soil the things that we have planted. And this year we were, let's see, I think maybe we still can do that. We are testing. We have bought a machine to not spray anything, because in some vineyards we started to see that a lot of copper, it was not very healthy for the vineyards. So then also my father he likes a lot to be the first guy to do this and this and this and this and this and this. So and then we are starting to do we are starting to do these treatments with ozone.
With those.
Ozone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just spraying hair to the vines. We are trying to, I mean, we are trying to do nothing. I mean, nothing.
Really,
But
what you know as like minimal intervention to the vineyards.
Really, really, really minimal. Yes.
That's
so
really...
it's so we are not in the way of doing what we are always want to do what we believe. We believe that okay, some biodynamic practices are good, so we implement, but some of the things we can't do. So because my father has a lot of vineyards, it's 55 hectares, okay, and so we can't do all the work same day or so. So we need to find a compromise between the things, you know.
Yeah, that makes
but
sense.
this is the ozone thing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
55 hectares, it's the total production of the vineyards.
It's yeah, my father, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this project, it's much more small. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't buy grapes, of course.
Duckman project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Maria, tell me now about the wines. So let's talk about wines we have here, and just lead me through it. So we have the same lineup of wines.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yes, we have been really enjoying these wines for the past now year, since Savio has been importing your wines, and we were getting them here in Tennessee. So thank you so much. Very popular. People love them. So yeah, I think that everybody would love to hear more about what we have here.
Okay, so this is, as I told, the first vineyard that we have done, started to farm organically. It's really close to the winery, and we have there a lot of ducks and geese.
Yeah.
And some time of the season we have also the sheep.
I see. So they kind of come and go into the vineyard.
Yes, because they can't be there like now, because they are very small, so they would eat them. But in maybe 2 months, they can come to the vineyards and start to be there. And then after like in August, we need to take them out again, because they start to eat the grapes.
I see.
So yeah, so this is Bicala. Mainly it has a touch of Maria Gomes, just. And it is also another thing that we started to do, influenced by Duckman. It was spontaneous fermentation.
Yeah.
So it is indigenous yeast fermented. It is the first wines we did them in the first edition. We did them in casks, because it was very low quantity. So we didn't have deposit for so small quantity. In this case, it was because it was a really success, this wine, really, really, really. So we are now doing them in stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
And then it is controlled temperature at 16 degrees. And then it stayed like 3 or 4 or months in stainless steel, and then we bottle it. In this case, we had sulfur to not do the malolactic.
You added, when did you add the sulfur? At what point?
We had the sulfur just when it finished the alcoholic fermentation.
Okay, so you stopped the malolactic, and is it why you want to preserve the freshness, the acidity of the wine? Yeah.
Yes, it's mainly for that. Yeah, it's for that. Yeah. Then the other case, this case that we are releasing now, it's made in another totally different way.
Yeah.
It is called, you can see, it's Qua Qua, the name of the in this case, because I was like, I don't want to use sulfur,
Yeah.
and then and then we have done this wine. In this case, we allow it to do malolactic.
Yeah, you let it go through.
Yes, and it has no sulfur. No sulfur.
Zero sulfur, not even before bottling.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing sulfur. Yeah.
Yeah, and is this the same blend? The Qua is the same blend as Vino Branco?
No. So this is the 4 different grapes that we have. In fact, this wine was born because my father, every time he has a grandchild,
yes,
he does a wine in homage to his grandchild.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And for my youngest daughter,
yeah,
he have done this wine, kind of this wine, with one grape, Cercial. I mean, going through malolactic, no sulfur, nothing, no filter. And last year, because I liked it a lot the way, I said, no, this is a really nice way to do, and it's the way that I really would like to do the wine.
yes.
So I've done the experiment in the 4 different white grapes that we have.
Okay, so you were testing, you were doing experiments.
Yes, so we just bottled this last week, and before bottling, we have done 60 bottles of each grapes to stay there to see how the evolution is, and then we mix the other part to this wine.
Okay, that makes sense. We are excited to try it.
Sorry?
We are excited to try that.
Okay, yes, I really like it. Yeah.
Back to Vino Branco that we're tasting right now.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's fine. So that is 2019. So this is the freshest wine that just arrived here. We just got this wine here maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's now hitting the shelves. And but what would you tell about this wine? What can we say about it?
Okay, just another small note. This is sandy soil. Okay, sandy soil. The sandy soil, it keeps more the acidity, and the wines are more straight. Okay, Bical Bical, that is the main thing here. It's a grape that is not very a lot with a lot of nose. It's a little bit shy in a way, and it's more the earth. You can also feel a little bit maybe the ocean,
yes.
freshness of the ocean, this salty thing.
It's very salty. It's almost a little bit more savory nose.
I can't hear you.
You can hear me? That's fine. We'll fix that.
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit. I'm hearing you very low.
Very low? Huh. I haven't changed anything, but is it better now? Yeah? No?
A little bit.
I can hear you.
It's because someone was calling me, and I don't know what happened.
What happened? Well, I can hear you really well. So maybe if we keep on going.
Okay, yeah. So I will put it closer to me. So
really loud.
Okay, so yeah, it's the saltiness that you can feel also in the wine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's salty, it's savory, but I'm also getting a lot of lemon, a lot of fresh apple, a lot of fresh pear. It's almost like a apple juice in a glass, in a nose. I think it's very vibrant wine, just smelling it. You have
and also there's the pears also. The pear is really the thing that defines the Bicala. It is a wine that gives it is also a grape that gives a lot of body because it's more because we are doing that on my father's wines in chalky clay, so it gives really a lot. In this case, you feel the body, but not too much. It's more fresh because it is on sandy soil. I forgot. So
yeah, so just really refreshing, a beautiful, like very crisp, like almost piercing acidity. It's going through this wine.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay now. Okay.
Tell me, what do you usually eat with this wine? What would you, in Portugal, what kind of food would you eat with this wine?
I would eat with, in Portugal we have a lot of fish, good fish, very good fish. The grilled fish, we do that. I would do that. But with this high acidity, maybe I could do also some shellfish.
Yeah.
And also white meat can do that.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to tell that 19 in Bairrada was a really, really good vintage for white wine.
Okay.
Because it was even fresher than it used to be. It is it was almost, there was no summer here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was very bad if you were going to the beach. Not very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to believe that there was no malolactic, because the wine still have that very creamy mouthfeel. It's creamy and soft, and then acidity, it hits in the back of the palate. So
yeah, it is a wine with 6.9 of acidity grams.
Wow. Yeah. Definitely have this with some shellfish if you can. Yeah. But if we would go to the next wine, what would we try next? Should we go to rosé? Should we do the Duckman? Which one?
We can do the rosé then, I think.
The second one, rosé. Okay. Let's taste it. I already opened them.
Okay, so rosé. This
Love the color in this wine. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very ruby, but it has some really nice orange, garnet color. So much going on. So
Yeah. So this is really a wine that that can be an expression of Bairrada, our region, because it's sparkling. You know, if you ask me what to drink with this,
yeah,
in Bairrada, we would say with everything.
that's good to know. So it's like a wine
Because
you drink with like a lot of different dishes that you can share. Yes.
yes, that's a good thing because yeah, when you are in a restaurant, maybe you ask for meat and the other for white, for fish and the other for mushrooms. So if you go to Bairrada restaurants,
Yeah.
you will see everyone is having sparkling.
Really? Okay. So it's like a sparkling wine with a lot of things. And especially this one has a lot of body, right? So I can see how it can handle a lot of different dishes. Yeah.
Yes, and it's also because the very high acidity that the sparklings they have.
Yeah.
A very nice note to say about this is that when my father did back 10, 15 years ago or 20 years ago, his first sparkling from Baga,
Yeah.
the people were like saying, "Oh, you are doing that! Oh my God, what are you doing?"
I see.
and the tasters in the for being considered Bairrada, they not allowed to be Bairrada.
They didn't allow to name it Barada, to put Bairrada on the bottle because it was Baga grape.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
sparkling from Baga.
And Baga,
Yeah.
Baga is like indigenous grape, right?
Yes.
It grows in
And the most iconic from Bairrada, you know. And sparkling is also a very iconic thing from Bairrada. So it's a mix of the things. But when you first did this back 20 years ago or so, more 30 years ago, people were like, no, how can it be?
yeah, everybody was freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is usually like, what grapes do people usually use in Bairrada for sparkling wine?
No, now it's very normal to use this, you know. But 30 years ago, they used mainly the white, the white. Even now,
Yeah,
in Porto, for example, if you try to go there with a rosé sparkling, people stay like, "What?
really?
Rosé sparkling?"
They're not used to that. It's supposed to be white.
Yes, sparkling. It's white.
But Baga, it's a red grape, right?
Baga, it's a red grape, and in this case also it has a lot of body because it is now we are not doing this sparkling like this. We are changing a little bit for the wine that just left yesterday.
Yeah.
Because this wine this is finished, this load, this part, and it was made with now we take the first juice,
Yeah. So
and
press.
then yes, the first juice we take, and the rest of the juice now we 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 do we put oxygenation on the wine. That is from the press. I mean, that is the part that has a lot of green tannins, because we cut this earlier, so the tannins are shorter, are much more aggressive.
Yeah.
So in this case, it was made with everything, with these very hard tannins. That's why after 4 years, it has the body because of that. Okay. More body because of that.
So this is a 4-year-old sparkling wine. Like, so if I understand correctly, you age this in a bottle?
Yeah.
4 years aged in a bottle?
In fact, more than 4 years. I'm not sure how many, but it was more.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was in the bottle. Yeah, and then we because it's the way to in our house we bottled the sparklings between September and January.
Yeah.
And then we leave the sparklings at our place for a long time.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it depends. Or we release immediately, or we stay there for a long time. Because it is because of these hard tannins, we keep it for a longer time in the cellar.
In the bottle. And tell me, this was the method, it's méthode champenoise, it's traditional method?
Yeah.
Then you do the disgorgement, you remove the sediment.
Yes.
And then what do you add? It's brut nature, it's completely dry?
No, we have some sugar, like 4 grams of sugar.
4 grams, okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to detect, it tastes really dry.
Yeah. Because of the acidity and the tannins. So then the main thing here is that it's raspberry. Baga, it's raspberry.
Yeah, very raspberry.
Always.
It's beautiful. It's
mainly in sparklings. It's what we get with that. With that,
yeah. The nose, it's really refreshing, but you can already smell a little bit of oxidation. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it coming from the process of fermentation before primary fermentation, or where is
no? It's the time of it's the time on the bottle.
Okay, it's really aging.
Yeah.
So
yes, it's the aging.
Yeah. So, and you label this wine as non-vintage, meaning is this has the different vintages been blended for this wine or no?
No. It's one vintage. Okay. Normal, yeah. We don't mix vintages on sparklings. That could be an idea, but no. As I told you, okay. We are always seeking for new ideas. But as we don't, because it's very hard to store the sparkling. Yeah. Because on the sparkling we can add no sulfur, or almost no sulfur, to allow it to do the fermentation in the bottle. Okay, so it's hard to keep the wine during 1 year at the winery. Yeah. Without not having problems, So every year we do all the sparklings.
Yeah. So what do you add to kickstart the secondary fermentation in the bottle? Do you add yeast, or you add grape must? What do you add?
It's champagne yeast. Champagne yeast
that you add, okay? And any sugar or no?
Yes, and sugar. Yeah, well, yeah.
So it's a very traditional. It's a very classic method.
Yes, totally classic method. Yeah.
That's really cool. And do you know what year this is? What vintage?
I think it is 12.
2012.
12, so 8 years. 8 years. I think it's 12. Yeah.
This is around 8 years old.
8 years old. Yeah.
Wow. That I didn't know that
It's
because
older than us.
you don't put the vintage on the label. There's nothing on the label.
Yeah, no, because we don't use. Yeah, because we don't use that. You know, it's not. But it could have. It could have if we would like. Yeah.
So this is a very vintage sparkling rosé from Bairrada. That is incredible.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, this has no vintage
No.
because.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you another thing.
We just know because Savio told us what vintage, but other than that, we don't know. It's not listed on the bottle.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's no, yeah. We are this year. We don't have any vintage on the cork, but for the next year we will have the vintage on the cork.
Okay. Yeah.
Because also we got lost with many vintages.
Why do you decide to add these crown caps? Why don't you use the corks for sparkling wine?
It is because we like it most. Yeah.
I just thought
Yes.
a particular reason.
Sorry?
I just thought you have like a particular reason why.
No, it's also because to not have cork problems. Yeah, but
it can't be cork. Well, Maria, let's go to our last wine. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, let's go. I need to drink it.
Yes, I am having a nice party here in Knoxville. It's already noon, so I'm starting drinking early today.
So
another beautiful color.
So this is the Duckman itself. So it is 2 grapes. It is Bical again.
Yeah.
And Tercial.
And tercial or
Tercial.
Okay, with
Tercial.
Okay, another indigenous grape.
Exactly. In this case, it is chalky clay soil. And it was an experiment. It was an experiment. So
yeah,
okay.
The wine by itself was an experiment.
Okay, because when I started with the Duckman project started okay with this wine, with the wine that I harvested, but it's still at the winery. It's not, it has not been released yet. And then my idea was to take out from the wines that I had in store the things that I understand that would fit the Duckman philosophy. I mean, a little bit funky, more different wines that the more commercial things. So I've decided to bring this Baga sparkling, and this sparkling is just one edition. sparkling.
Okay. So
It
only one
is,
produced.
yes, it's 2010,
Yeah.
so 10 years old now.
Wow. Guys, we're drinking some amazing stuff over here. So I can't wait you guys get this in your sampler cases.
It's nice because every time I smell it, I smell the cypress. Cypress? Yeah.
It's a fir. How do you say?
The cedar? Cedar?
Cedar. It's a cedar tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sappy. It has like some
Yeah.
sap. It's almost like you're smelling like pine needles. But I can see.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, and the nice thing is that this vineyard on the top it has a cypress forest.
Really, that's beautiful.
So it really gets the flavor from where it is.
Yeah, so really a sense of place.
Yes, I think it's in that way it's very unique. You don't get a lot this kind of smell. I think it's in a way it's a very character wine. I think
It has a lot of character. Yes, I'm also smelling a lot of like herbs, like almost like Mediterranean herbs, wildflowers.
Yeah.
Not much fruit. Not much fruit at all.
No. The fruit gone.
The only fruit I'm really smelling, it's like apple, but like bruised apple, almost like a little apple vinegar, like slightly apple cider.
Yeah. In that way, it can be also a little bit the oxidation again, also.
But it's gentle. It's very elegant. The nose, it's beautiful. And also on the palate, we're getting again like that, like cedar mouthfeel, like you said. It's sad. Yeah. Yes. And tell me, was this wine done in the same approach as rosé?
It's a traditional method. Yes, totally same. Same.
Yes. And tell me, what would you eat with that? What can we recommend our customers? Like to open this wine? I mean, to be honest, I would just open and just enjoy this wine. It's like a meditative wine to me. It's I feel like it just needs like, you know, all your focus into this wine and just take your time. But if we would eat something, what would you eat?
It's again a little bit as I told before with the other. We are sparkling addicted persons. But in that case, I would not go with very deep food. I would go with lighter food. I mean, yeah, with the chicken, more like this.
I'm almost like craving like some olives or like some smoked fish or
a smoked fish or a salad can be.
Salad with some nice like roasted like root vegetables, things like that. Yes. No, it's really incredible. And what I really like about is your addition that you write here. What is this little message? Is this your idea?
Yes.
So gaze wildly and feel the unexpected, which I feel it couldn't be more fitting for these times that we're living right now.
This is wine. It is a terroir and versus creator, unless the creator has no character and is just a follower.
That's
I like to be provocative, you know.
We love to be provocative, and we really want you to keep doing this amazing job. Really, like so inspired by your work. It's so unique. It's so we have a document too. It's so so based on what I've been reading, Dachman, it's really like representation of like that uniqueness of that area, right? Of not for the wine just to be what it is and not be labeled as and put in like a different compartments and such, right? Did I understand correctly? I think you need to tell me what you feel. What is your message?
Okay, yeah. I mean, in I hear from many producers always that okay, taking care of the vines, yes, I agree, but really, first of all,
Yeah.
we need to take care of my employees, my neighbors, my family, the persons. It's really the to feel and to give to persons the best from themselves, you know, and to this is we I'm pretty happy that that people is engaging this Duckman thing. We have the Duckman fans already. Also here in Portugal, that we almost sell anything. Because in Portugal, it's very much more traditional and classic business. And also it wants to encourage people that is not into the wine to taste different things, you know. Also, for example, this is those glasses.
Yes.
They were made at my daughter's school.
Oh, nice.
They have done this, and these have been made by old people from close by place that has people to spend their free time there.
Yeah.
And also my neighbors, they do the magazines, to the magazines that I have designed for Duckman, and they do that manually, so they spend time with that. Yeah, and also we have done that music thing that you didn't have done.
I know. I will do it next time. I promise. I will.
Next Christmas. Yes, I know that Christmas it's very hard time. Yes, but we want that people really get something more than just the wine when they have Duckman. It's the idea.
Community. Yes, it's a Duckman community now.
Yeah.
So we will need to make one of these masks here too, so we can wear this mask around, walking around you. I think the best would be if you come visit us, and then we can do a little tour. So
okay, yes, I will bring. You know this mask.
yes.
I've asked the women to do that mask to, because the other is paper mache,
Paper mache, yeah, paper mache.
and it's not possible to travel with. This is fabric, so I can put this on my suitcase and go to promote Duckman.
Or you just sit in a plane with us on head.
Exactly.
Oh, perfect. We love it. We love it. Maria, thank you so much. Really.
You're welcome.
Your time and your energy and your dedication. And I hope we bring a little bit of joy to our customers that are now all in quarantine in their homes. So every person who orders the package of the wine will receive this video as well. So it's a nice little thank you, and just a connection between the winemaker and people who like to drink this wine. So thank you. I'm saying hello from the whole team of 100% Italiano, and from the store that we're working with. It's called Downtown Wine and Spirits. So lots of love.
Thank you. From my side, I'm very happy and honored to do this with you. And I hope our customers can enjoy these things that we do with a lot of care. And this is our life, in fact. This is a piece of our life.
For sharing it with us. We appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.